tips to those who are either writing their first book or even the third or fifth. Over the last couple of years, I've noticed that these are what I often, when I'm mentoring writers, this is what I'll advise. So number one is having the discipline to write almost every day. So even I get struck with it when you sit down and you procrastinate. It is a writer's favorite thing to do because you're not actually working. So you need to make time for it. The first 3 years I blitzed through and smashed out so many millions of words writing. It was insane. But I wasn't balanced in my work and my personal life either. So when I started learning how to balance it, I realized a couple of hours every day, every second day, but I needed to make it constant. And that's my best advice, is just sit down and write. Even if you don't know particularly what you're writing, still be in the habit, because it is a habit to write. You need to sit down and just write whatever comes to your mind. You know, even if it's not in regards to your story, even if it's just a journal on your daily life, just make sure you're sitting down, you're making the time, and you're crafting that habit that you need to sit down for a period every day and you need to write. And when you are writing your manuscript, generally what happens for me is I'll sit down and start writing for an hour a day, and it'll go to 2 or 3 hours, and before I know it, I've written 2 or 3 chapters. And that's slowly getting to my goal. That's slowly getting to the end of my manuscript. Tip number 2, continue writing and edit later. So often writers get so stuck on chapter 1 because they think it's not good enough, so they keep editing and editing and editing over it, and there's no progress in that. So what I always advise is just keep writing. Write 1, even if it's a terrible chapter. Write number 2, flow with the story. If you keep editing on the same consistent chapter, it's not going to improve the book because you don't have a book. You only have a chapter. Write the book and then go back and edit. But just please continue writing and finish the manuscript first, because you will get stuck on that same chapter over and over again, because we're our worst critics and we'll find fault every time. So keep writing, let your creative muse through, power through, and then focus on the editing once you finish the book. Start promoting on social media. I cannot tell you how much I love social media and promoting my books on there. Well, also I do my life as well. You need to get excited about this. You are going to publish a book. Start promoting it earlier on so people are starting to engage with you, so that they know what's coming, that you're excited about it, they're excited about it. This is not only creating that community for your book when it's released, but it's a fantastic way to start looking into your sales. If you're going into self-publishing, you're not just going to sell books. You're not going to hit send. My book's now out in the world. I'm going to make $1 million this year. It does not work that way. Trust me, I thought the same. It doesn't. You need to work hard. And a lot of that is self-promotion, and a lot of that is on social media as well. I'm an advocate for social media marketing. And you know what? Everyone has their own thing, but even if you're not going to use it to get a whole pile of readers engaged prior to your release, just start blitzing about it. Really get excited about what you're about to achieve. Four, do your research. So when you're looking at getting a new cover designer or an editor, really do your research. The first 2 years that I was in the business, I got screwed over so many times. My first editor didn't even finish my manuscript. I had paid him prior. He took my money, went through about 70% of possession of my soul, and then told me that my main character was as likable as cancer and that wolves could never grow physically that big, despite it being a fantasy book. That was a kick in the guts, but a massive learning lesson for me, because I was outright taken advantage of. But I was young. And I'm glad that happened, because it really started molding me to be who I am, as to why I can offer genuine advice and tips, because I've done a lot of the dumb mistakes. But also, you need to compare, you need to know who you're working with. Looking for an editor, looking for a graphic designer or marketing. look around at prices, look at what they can offer, but look at whose work they've overgone already. You know, you need to know who you're working with because it's quite an intimate relationship to have. If it's a cover artist, I've used the same one for the last, actually, 6 years. So from the very first book I had, I've used Yin. Editors, I've gone through a couple because you know what? It's a big project to work on together, and I've now done 15 books. So I'm on my third editor. And the first one, of course, didn't end great. The second one was admirable because she had her own goals and dreams to pursue, and that was awesome. And now I have an amazing editor. So you just really need to find the right fit for you in that time. So please do your research. Make sure you're comparing. Don't put a down deposit on the first person that you meet and promises you a million things. Just look up another 5 to 10 because you really don't want to be hurt or gutted because this is your baby, this is your book. And you need to think of it as a business, so you need to get the best value for your money. Number 5, celebrate your achievement. I've made the mistake of underplaying how amazing it is to publish a book. You know, after like the first couple, I was like super pumped, and then after I was kind of like, it's another book, you know, whatever. No. What you were doing is phenomenal, and you genuinely need to be excited, and you need to celebrate it. I don't care what you do. Buy yourself a cake, buy yourself a car. You know, you don't have to buy anything. Go to the park, have a party with your friends. Just take the time to appreciate what you've achieved, because what you've done, not many people in this world can do. A lot of people will say that they'll do it, but they don't. And that makes you unique and amazing, and you need to own it. Thank you guys for watching another video, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.